Hello and welcome back to Hustle Sports. Hustle Sports, the name of the game, and you're on with Mr. Moose. Moose, as always, is up and down, swinging, kicking it, and you guys are gonna hear some rustling noises in the back as my cats are gonna be playing. But enjoy it while it lasts, because I love pets and I love cats, and I definitely am an animal fan. So let's talk a little bit about our Run It Up challenge, how we're doing, where things are going from here, and how we move forward. So I just want to cover a couple days of what we've been doing and how we've been cashing. And I believe that we are now on day 16. So we had a couple good wins in up on LCK over the last couple days. It was just 2 game slates, and then yesterday we had a 380 day. I'm not sure if I'm missing a day, but it feels like I did win these back to back. So I know we lost yesterday. Obviously, nothing cashed because Rogue Warriors upset LGD, and that was I called it. I actually placed the bet for that. So it is what it is. But we're moving forward. Our goal is obviously $1,000, and from there we'll play it by year. As always, guys, check me out on Hustlesports, patreon.com/Hustlesports, and always check me out on my own personal Twitter account, moose.com, twitter.com/moose_esports. Okay, cool. So now we're going to go over the cash lineup that I used for that day. Really not much to talk about, guys. I want to get into this new slate immediately. So this TESSN stack is what I used. And yeah, it didn't really do much. Everybody had it, so yay. And then these geniuses over here used SN with V5. If you're rostering V5 in cash against an 8-0 team, you are a god, and props to you. You have way more money than I do, so props and mad respects to you for that. So let's go over the games for tonight. I don't want to waste any more time on that. I just want to get this video in real quick, and I think we do that by looking at tonight's games. So tonight we have a couple of mad games. We have E-Star OMG, a very close game, and then we have JD Gaming and Vici Gaming. I want to talk about both of these games. I also want to talk about the LCK games tonight. So we have Dynamics and Damwon, and Freaks and Gen G going up. A Freak of Freaks, obviously the 4th best team against Gen G, the 2nd best team, I believe, now in the LCK. So a good matchup there. Dynamics Damwon, you guys know what it is. I actually won't be up for these 2 games, but I am hoping that everything works out and we do cash. So I am going to make a cash lineup live for you guys about these games. So we're going to take a look at players I like, starting rosters and all that. So obviously you guys know that the Gen G roster is going to be Rascal, Clid, BDD, Ruler, and Life or Kellen. I believe it's going to be Life. 70% sure it's going to be Life. And Freaks. Freak of Freaks have decided that their roster is good enough. So you will see most likely Keen, Spirit, Fly, Mystic, and Ben. Then when you follow up with the LPL style games, you guys already know who's starting there. So here's our matchup, courtesy of Mr. Brewer IPA. We have Xiaobai, Wei, Fen, and coming in for Big Wink, we have Mr. Rat and Xiaoxi. And then OMG are not changing the roster. They're keeping things as is. Big Triangle as usual. Triangle versus Star today. Curse, Hacker, Icon, SMLZ, and Cold entering the game. We have, honestly, I think the top lane of just looking at it here, I think Xiaobai and Curse are about even. I like Curse a little bit better. He's been playing really well, and he's been doing really good things on carry type of champs. So I really do like to see that, like Renekton and even Gangplank. His Gangplank is really good. So looking forward to Curse. Curse is a good player. Hacker versus Wei. I think I would probably give this matchup to Wei. I think Wei just has a ton of talent as a jungler. He's just not utilized correctly in this team. I think Hacker's kind of a hit and miss over here. Icon versus Fun. I give it to Icon. I think Icon is just a better veteran. SMOZ versus Rat. I honestly, if this was Wink, it goes to Wink. But because we don't know anything about Rat other than he's the sub, and he's been smurfing in the LDL, like Corey Brewer here says. So I think that I think it's about even. I think I will give it to SMLZ, even though I don't like SMLZ. And Xiaoxi versus Gold, I'm going to go with Xiaoxi, which is why this is such a close match. Going up in JD and Vici, you have Zoom versus Cube. I like Zoom better than Cube. I think Cube is good, but he has to go off. Kanavi versus Leon, no question there. Kanavi's taking that. Yagao versus Zeka, I think is the close. I think Yagao is probably the weakest person in JD, but I think he is going to be better than Zeka. And Loken versus Iboy, obviously Loken, and LV Lumao over Hang is obviously going to be a Lumao thing. So let's take a look at some odds, and we'll go from there, and we'll figure out where we want to focus our cash lineup, and why I think you need to have exposure to every single game tonight if you want to cash. We don't know what's going to happen, and it is a crazy slate. So first of all, let's take a look at Afrika and Gen G. Gen G minus 345 favorites. I put them at about minus 300, so I think this is a good. I think this is a little bit overvalued. Dam1 minus 950 to Team Dynamics. I put it about minus 850, so definitely overbought. No over under yet on either of these games. So, we're just gonna take it as is, and I think we're just gonna take. Honestly, I would probably just take a Freak of Freaks plus 1.5 here, but. I don't know exactly if the Freaks are capable of keeping up with the current stage of LCK with Gen G, because BDD is a lot better than Fly, and I think that Clade has really found his stride. I think Rascal has really found his stride, and Ruler has been going off. So I think that, unfortunately, our Freak of Freaks guys are going to take a dumpster bath tonight for sure, like a toaster bath. And then going up in JD Gaming Vici, I think that the minus 400 line is fair, maybe a little bit overpriced, but I'll put the game at about minus 375 because I think that Vici can win a game, but I think JD will probably stomp. E-Star OMG is a close game. I don't understand why E-Star is favored, but this is the game where I think the over-under is 27.5, so I expect some fireworks there, and then the over-under for this game is about 26.5. As always, guys, projections provided by paydirt.ghost.io. So let's build our cash lineup for tonight. So like I said, if I had to choose between these games, I am going to take Gen G, I'm going to take JDG, I'm going to take Dam1, and then from there, if you do want exposure to this OMG game, OMG E-Star game, I would pick the OMG side because they haven't switched their roster, and I think they're going to be the better play. It is close, but honestly, E-Star are a dumpster fire of a team, and I don't like them. I think that they are really bad. Just looking at their previous record, you can see here that E-Star are, I believe, only a 2-win team, and their entire record so far has been, let's see here, lost to LGD, a beat over DMO, lost to Billy Gaming, a beat over LNG. So these two teams are garbage, and then they're losing. 2-1 in the favor of OMG, in my opinion. I think I favor this 2-1 in the favor of OMG. So I think that right now, depending on how much exposure you want, you could take OMG. So this is how I build my roster, guys. If you don't want this at all, if you don't want any sort of OMG exposure, you will not be able to get a carry in your lineup at all. So you will have to go with something a little bit cheaper than our boy BDD here. So you could take Kanavi. I think Kanavi is really good tonight, or Klid, if you want that safety. But I personally, I will take the upside of Kanavi any day. And then you could make something like take Rascal here, or Zoom is giving up. They're giving up a ton of points. You could do like a Showmaker upside build with Ruler if you can, and then you could take Canyon or Klid, either one. I think Canyon has been performing extremely well lately, even with their loss recently. So this weird T120, I'm just not looking at. I'm looking at the other scores where he did perform very well. So you could do that as your JDG exposure. I love Barrel, and yeah, that's not going to be enough money. So you actually do need to figure out where you're going to save the money tonight, and where you can spend the money up tonight. So 5,800 is going to be kind of expensive, guys. I didn't think Kanavi would be so expensive, so we're going to try this lineup with Klid and work our way down. And then let's see, so 5,000, 5,400, perhaps if you go down to Ghost. Yeah, so it looks like perhaps something like this, and then get some exposure. Then you immediately have a line ready to go with Klid at captain. You could also go down from Klid to, it's up for, yeah, so from Klid, you could take JD right here and just call it a day. So you can complete this lineup right here, and you have a nice solid cash lineup. But it is very heavy on the JD game, on the LCK side. So I'm gonna show you guys how the OMG really plays a trick here. So if you want just no action at all on the OMG side, you could do something like this. You could take just take the Gen carry and the OMG team, and then from there you just grab yourself the cheapest players you can find. So you could take Rascal, you could take Klid, you could take Yagao, you could take Ghost, and you could take Life. And from here, you could upgrade to zoom and get that JD exposure further. And look at that, this looks a little bit better, stronger, and all you're doing is sacrificing an OMG team. So the way I play it tonight is I think that game's going to be good. And like I said, I think OMG win. If you think OMG win, then just take the icon in the mid lane, very good value. And then from there, kind of make your lineup however you see fit. You can pretty much mess with whatever you want, and you'll be able to get anybody you want. So if you want to take Rascal, no problem. You want to take Loken, no problem. You want to basically work it out so that you have, some cheapness going on. With Icon makes a lot of things really work that don't usually work. So you can always kind of, go back and forth and figure out what you want. If in terms of what you want out of value, so you get JD, and then here you can basically just tinker with it a little bit, but you are probably going to have to get some exposure to the OMG game tonight, so I would get it through either Icon or the OMG team or Curse. I think that I need to review a little bit on paydirt.ghost.io to see how their projections are, but Curse, even in losses, has been performing really well, and then in his last 3 wins has put up a significant amount of points. So I think that if OMG win this thing, they're going to need Curse to be a good player, especially these are the 4 losses, and they came in with 3 wins, and they lost last 2. So, I think if Curse does win, then this will be a good matchup. I want to see how they score in their single game wins. So 37, 35, 45, 27. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, if you're asking me, I'm getting exposure to Curse. I'm taking maybe like Yagao or BDD in the top lane, depending on whichever one you want. And then from here, I could probably take the opposite person, Yagao. And then I have nice GDG exposure, life. And then instead of Clid, maybe you take like a... Oh, you gotta take Clid here, okay. So instead of Loken, you take like a Ghost. And then bam, so there. That looks really good. You get the Gen exposure, you get the JDG exposure, you get the Damwon exposure. Ghost will not let you down unless, they're starting somebody else, like Nuclear, but I don't know if they're going to do that. I think they've been pretty settled on Ghost all week, so, I think the only way to make this lineup maybe better is to take Showmaker, and if you can, like, somehow fit that, then that would be fantastic, but he is so damn expensive, it might, I'd rather get more exposure to the LPL game, so this way you have your exposure in complete chalkness with the Gen Damwon stack, which is 4 of your 3 players. You have exposure to the LPL through JDG, and you have exposure to the OMG start game through Curse. Again, you don't have to do this. You can get your exposure through Icon to that game if you want. And hey, if you think that Estar win that game, then you get a lot more possibilities open up. So, pretty much just take it how you feel and see what you want to do and see what you want to go with. But tonight is kind of open up. Figure out if you want to fade a game or get access to a game. But I would definitely have a piece of Gen, JD, and Damwon tonight. As always, guys, this is Mr. Moose signing off on another awesome day. Check me out, twitter.com/moose_esports. Twitter.com/moose_esports. And check out Hustlesports. Subscribe today.